Shalom, Israel. Let's do this. Back with another hot one. WARRAW, signing on. If you notice the camera might be a little shaky, it's because I'm holding the phone. The title of today's lesson is, What happened to the Native American Indians being slaves, and what happened to the Mexicans? Where are all the photos of the Native American Indians with yokes of iron upon their necks? Deuteronomy 28. Let me go get that before I do this here. Let's go to the blue letter. This would be a real short lesson. What is the yokes of iron? Is it 48? Let's go to 48 here. Highlight. It says, Deuteronomy 28 and 48, Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. Well, we all know that the Native American Indians were destroyed by the so-called white man, aka the devil, that the Bible speaks of. But did they ever have yokes of iron placed upon their necks, like the Negro? Here we got one Indian chief. He looks like he's pretty free. This guy right here looks like an African, a so-called African. Most of these images are of Negroes with yokes of iron upon their necks. Now, I'm not going to say there aren't any photos whatsoever of Native Americans with yokes of iron upon their necks, because here's one here. Now, these guys can either pass for Native American Indians or Asian or Mexicans. I can't tell which one they really are because they all look the same. Do you see any more pictures of Native Indians with yokes of iron? There go, hey, Toby. Kunta Kinte. Do you see any more photos? This is on Google search. You can go do this yourself. And yes, this is public domain. And before I do all that, I should have done this. Go down. Take that off of here because YouTube's already done hit me with a copyright strike for my last video. And that one was titled Hair Like the Pure Wool. So I'm going to go. And I've also done a video on the 3 races classifications, right? Defining the 3 races, the Negroid, Caucasoid, and Mongoloid. Here, let me get this copyright fair use here on my screen for YouTube. Here, look. Educational purposes. Thank you. No more. Get out of here. Okay, let's go back to Google. Okay, that's one image I've typed in here about Native Indians with yokes of iron. Let's go get Mexicans with yokes of iron upon necks. Let's see what we come up with. The same, pretty much the same exact images from the Native Americans. These people here, they look pretty free to me. They don't look like they're in bondage. Okay. Scrolling. Alright, that's not it. Let's go back here and get Mexican slaves. Okay, we see Mexican slaves here. Those are the drawings. He looks like a cowboy, Mexican cowboy. See this nigga here with a chain on his neck, burnt to ashes. For the most part, I can't find anything with chains upon the necks of Native American Indians or Mexicans. And if they claim that they're Israelites according to these One West camps, then they must fit the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Every last one of them. Let's go get Mexicans enslaved in Spain. And as you can see here, there are none. Well, those are some dark Mexicans, I tell you that. These must be some Native American Indians here with the loincloths on, the buttocks out. Yeah, these Spaniards here, was that Cristobal Colombo or Amerigo Vespucci, which one? Yeah, they look pretty free to me, except for all these drawings where you see a bunch of bloodshed. That's because they were conquered. Native American Indians were conquered. That's what you get in war. You get bloodshed. But where were they ever enslaved? Let's go look up another definition of Mongoloid from the Wikipedia. Let's do a little bit of more reading here. I love to read. Mongoloid is a term used for all or some peoples indigenous to East Asia, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, North Asia, South Asia, the Arctic, the Americas, the Pacific Islands, and other lesser occurrences in other regions, but are the minority. Individuals within these populations often share certain associated phenotypic traits, such as epicanthic folds, skin folds covering the corners of the eyes, synodonty, shovel tooth, dental shape, and neoteny, retaining more juvenile physiological traits. The concept of Mongoloid races is historical, referring to a grouping of human beings historically regarded as a biological taxon. It is today not widely used by anthropologists, as its validity and usefulness in classification is considered highly questionable. Epicanthic folds and oblique palpebral fissures are common among Mongoloid individuals. Most exhibit the Mongolian spot from birth to about age 4. Mongoloid in general have straight, black hair and dark brown, almond-shaped eyes, and have relatively flatter faces in comparison to Caucasoid skull. Before I continue reading, I'm going to tell you, my viewers, my people, Israel, I have a daughter by a Filipino Mongoloid, and I have a son on the way by another Mongoloid, Vietnamese. And these people fit the exact characteristics of this definition. Almond-shaped, epicanthic fold of their eyes, flat foreheads, flat faces. They're normally short. They have straight black hair, like Caucasoids. Back to the reading. Traits more controversially ascribed to Mongols include high intelligence and a stoic, taciturn, unaggressive demeanor. The extent to which individual psychological makeup is a social construct rather than a matter of biology remains a matter of debate. Let's go scroll down or scroll up. The term Mongoloid was introduced by 18th century ethnologists to describe Central Asian and East Asian populations as part of a tripartite typological model of race: Mongoloid, Caucasoid, Negroid. Those are the three races that I've already done a video on. Although some forensic anthropologists and other scientists continue to use such terms in some contexts, such as criminal justice, their usage is now discouraged by most anthropologists due to the questionable nature of such models. In addition, Mongoloid has had a second usage, now generally avoided as highly offensive. Until the late 20th century, people with Down syndrome were often referred to as Mongoloids, or in terms of Mongolian idiocy. Very offensive, huh? Like the term Negro or nigger. Niggers were very offensive. I'm going to read one more paragraph here, just to prove my point and bring it home. Mongoloid or Asiatic peoples are the most spread out among all human populations, since they have stretched almost completely around the Earth's surface. Don't think so. It's the Negroes, because we were scattered to the four corners of the Earth. From an Asian point of reference, populations range from as far east as Greenland to as far west as Kalmykia, Crimea, and Northern Europe, giving Asiatic peoples or their descendants a historical presence across 4 continents. Aren't there 7 continents? According to the Myers Conversations lexicon, peoples included in the Mongoloid race are North Mongol, Chinese and Indo-Chinese, Japanese and Korean, Tibetan and Burmese, Malay, Polynesia, Maori, Micronesian, Eskimo, and Native Americans. So, Israelites, there goes your Native American Indians. They're classified as Mongoloids, for one, and for two, they do not look like Negroes. They're a whole total separate phenome and genome. We don't have the same bone structure. We do not have the same hair texture. So how could we all come from one man, Jacob, or Yaakov in the Hebrew? Ibarya. How? And where are the Mexicans fitting in this? Just because they were destroyed by the conquistadors does not make them Israelites. There's prophecies against Moab. There's prophecies against Ammon. There's prophecies against Egypt and Ethiopia. Stop grouping these Mongoloids and these Europeans into our nation. They don't fit scientifically. No, it's impossible for them to be Israelites, not as a whole nation. And so, excuse all the shakiness. This will conclude my little short, quick lesson here. I will go back out and leave you with this tune. Yeah, time for some action. Time for some destruction. Yeah, time for some war. Let's go get this one here. I cannot show the video image or clip, but I can play the song. It's just a little cut to leave you out with. Babylon will be destroyed. Where's Babylon? America? Saudi Arabia? Pick one. Shalom, Israel. All praise the Most High Father, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, the Anointed, Hamashiach Yahushua. WARRAW signing out. Matai Yawadah, Tribe of Judah. Shalom.